what are my thoughts on the Konica X-Three Zoom? I think it's a great point and shoot camera. Do I think it's the best point and shoot camera? Well, for the use cases that I have, typically street photography, kind of something that's a bit smaller, I still prefer to shoot with some cameras that are a little bit smaller, like the Stylus Epic, when it comes to something that I'm traveling with. This camera can be a little bit loud when it comes to taking the photos, which isn't always, it's not necessarily the end of the world. It just means that, like, if you're trying to be a little bit more discreet about taking a photo, say if it's something for street photography, which is typically what I like to do, it's going to be a little bit louder than, you know, some of the point and shoot cameras that you can find. Go. Let's see here. So I hope you can hear it from there, but it is a little bit louder. Like I said, nothing that's really worrying. It's just, that's kind of my preference. This camera has a zoom lens, which is 38 millimeters to 110 millimeters. You have your zoom rocker on the top here. You have your LCD screen, and then right here you have your buttons for self-timer, manual control, which is basically putting on red eye reduction, or maybe keeping the flash turned off if that's something that you're wanting. And then just right there, recessed into the camera, is your rewind button for bringing the film back through the camera. This camera has a glass lens, and I think all the shots that came out of it, I really like how the camera exposed the images. Some of them kind of felt a little bit almost eerie, you know what I mean? They kind of had some vignetting, they kept a lot of the shadows. It kind of didn't expose it as bright as I thought it was going to, which for me, I kind of actually enjoy, kind of a little bit more of a moody kind of look, as well as, you know, the film has certain qualities too that make it do that. But I think this lens was really nice. It was nice and sharp, and I really enjoyed what I got from it. I think if there was one last thing I would say about this camera, like I said, it's a very straightforward, basic point and shoot. I think the one last thing that I'm thinking is that the viewfinder is a bit small, but nothing that's like to the point where you can't see out of it at all. It's just typically point and shoot cameras, a lot of them, unless you're talking about some of the Canon Sure Shot like Owls, or the big finder, like those ones. Those specifically built viewfinders are a lot bigger and easier to see through. Most point and shoots are around this size for a viewfinder, so nothing that's deal breaking. It's just that's kind of what you're going with. Once your eye kind of gets comfortable with it, you can look through pretty quick, find where the viewfinder is exactly, take your shot. So, like I said, very simple, straightforward camera, feels good in the hands, looks pretty good, and the shots came out great, which ideally is all that matters in the end. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Analog Adventures, and I'll see you in the next video.